The heart of your teams. The heart of Texas. Valley Sports Southwest. The heart of the fan.
Ready to go on a Wednesday afternoon. Rangers baseball on Valley Sports, presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It's the finale in this series. Rangers hosting the Baltimore Orioles, and the Rangers looking for a win in this series. Welcome, everybody. Great to be with you this afternoon. I'm Dave Raymond with CJ Nitkowski, and as I mentioned, the Rangers need a win today just to get a win in this series, but would also give them a winning record on this homestand. Last night was not the way they wanted things to go down, but there were still a couple of good offensive moments.
There certainly were. We know there's power in this Ranger lineup, and we got to see it last night. Of course, Adolis Garcia has been doing it for a couple of years in this Rangers uniform. He gets a slider from Kyle Gibson and absolutely hammers it out to left center field for Garcia, getting on the board 421 feet. How about 35 career home runs now here at Globe Life Field? That's the most in this ballpark's history, but he wasn't the only one. We had some fun with Nathaniel Lowe. He was mic'd up yesterday, and he promised his teammates he'd hit a ball out of the infield, and he did, and then some, as he deposits this pitch into the Baltimore Orioles bullpen. 420 feet for him. He now has 19 career home runs in this ballpark. That is fourth most, so good to see that power on display last night, despite the loss.
Well, and in this series with these Baltimore Orioles, we have seen some of the better young talent in the game. Gunnar Henderson, maybe the top prospect in baseball, started in the opener at third base, and today we get another top prospect.
It's a big day for the Baltimore Orioles. It did not necessarily plan to be like this, but for Grayson Rodriguez, he will make his big league debut. Now you look at Henderson and Rodriguez and where they rank in the MLB pipeline. For Grayson Rodriguez, #1 pitching prospect in all of baseball, a first rounder back from 2018. As we take a look at that right-hander, and no doubt right now the butterflies are building, but the minor league numbers have been pretty good for him. 25-9, great ERA, but the big number is the strikeouts, nearly 13 per 9. He's got a big fastball, breaking ball, cutter, changeup. We'll get into it today, but no doubt very excited to make that big league debut, but he's got to do it against a tough Ranger lineup.
Yeah, not only that, he'll face a good lineup, but he's going head-to-head with the best pitcher in baseball. Jacob deGrom looking for a bounce back after his debut. We'll see if he gets it this afternoon. The 0-2, got him swinging. Welcome to Texas, Jacob deGrom. Strike 3 called, 101 on the corner.
Jacob deGrom towing the rubber for the second time in a Rangers uniform here in the finale of this 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. As we welcome you back inside Globe Life Field, get you ready for this one. And it was a disappointing first start, a debut for Mr. deGrom. If past performance is any indication of future success, we are in for a treat here today as we take a look in our Shiner Box Spotlight. The numbers after deGrom stumbles a bit, well, they are pretty impressive. Doesn't often make back-to-back, uncharacteristic outings, and Bruce Bochy said he is looking for that trend to continue here today. Jacob anxious to get back out there, his teammates anxious to play some defense behind him, and his manager anxious to watch him play. But it should be very, very entertaining for us today if those numbers are any indicator of what we are in for, CJ.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think we look at Jacob deGrom, the line from Thursday, it was just 3 2/3. We know there was going to be a pitch limit there. 6 hits, all of those hits were extra base hits, 5 runs allowed, but no walks, certainly an encouraging sign to go along with 7 strikeouts in the 3 2/3. So not much to worry about with Jacob deGrom. We'll take a look at the pitch arsenal, 99 miles an hour. That is the average fastball velocity to go along with the nasty slider. The changeup and curveball in there as well, but as we so often talk about with Jacob deGrom, this is pretty much fastball slider to get those strikeouts.
All right, well, he was electric in the first inning on opening day. He looked every bit the guy the Rangers thought they had signed. And then there was some soft contact that ended up hurting him in that game. So take a look at the Orioles. They have not seen soft contact from these guys. They're aggressive. And they've been driving the ball. Cedric Mullins leading it off in center. Adley Rutschman catching. Santander in right. Mountcastle, Henderson and Vavra in the middle. Hayes, Frazier, and Mateo rounded out. First pitch swinging, and Mullins fouls off, strike one. And that first heater of the ball game at 99 miles per hour. Right back at him with the heat, and it's 0-2.
I mentioned the strikeouts for Jacob deGrom. The 7 strikeouts that he had, 5 of them came on the fastball, 2 on the slider.
Now we'll see if he breaks out the slider here. The 0-2 pitch. Now he goes right back to the fastball, and it's popped up back of second base, or right near it anyway. And Seager takes care of it.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Rangers defense behind Jacob deGrom here this afternoon at Globe Life Field. In the outfield, Ezekiel Duran, Adolis Garcia, and Robbie Grossman left to right in that infield for Bruce Bochy's club. It's Josh Young, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Nathaniel Lowe, and our catcher this afternoon is Jonah Heim.
There's Ezekiel. And here we go as Rutschman takes off the plate for ball one. So all fastballs so far from deGrom. And he was definitely amped up a little bit opening day when he was hitting 100, 101 in that first inning. And today, keeping it right around 99. We've seen a 98. The last one, the changeup.
At 92, must be nice.
Here's his 2-0. More heat. And this one lined out into left field, coming on for it. Duran, and he'll reach down to make the catch.
Good work, good recovery by Ezekiel Duran. Remember, he does not have a ton of time in the outfield. An infielder by trade, but will go wherever the Rangers want him to in the field. You see that little bit of hesitation, and then he makes up for it with the closing speed. It's a low liner. Again, not a lot of experience out there. But Duran does a very nice job recovering and making that catch. Almost like you couldn't see it there for a second, or didn't have a read on how hard it was hit.
So 2 out, and another fastball, and Santander fouls it back. So deGrom right now, he's just going to try and overpower these guys. And there's a ground ball, foul on the first baseline. Finally see the slider. But count 0-2. Santander yesterday walked a couple of times, was 0 for 2. Here comes deGrom's 0-2 offering. And there's 100 miles per hour. I wanted to accent the strikeout maybe with a little extra, just missed. And waste no time. Stays 1-2.
It's interesting. One of the things that people are wondering about regarding the pitch clock is whether or not we're going to see velocities go down for pitchers. And there's this whole thing about recovery time in between each pitch. Everybody is working at a much brisker pace. Now, a little bit different. You get 20 seconds, of course, when there's runners on. That's something, as we get a little bit deeper in the season, we'll see whether or not that really makes a difference with velocity.
This one hooked foul again. So Santander doing good battle.
Sorry about that. The ball girl almost took one off the noggin.
That thing was moving too. Just hit at about 94 miles per hour off the bat. That's cool. Got it.
That was close. The universal expression for it. Yeah, that was close.
All right, the 1-2. And he got him swinging. A strikeout of Santander completes a 1-2-3. Top of the first for Jacob deGrom.
Pretty good version of Jacob deGrom here in the first. He goes to that slider outside of the strike zone. We've seen Santander chase a lot in this series and not even close. Good block by Jonah Heim.
Bally Sports is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. And by Baylor Scott & White Health. Changing healthcare for the better. Jacob deGrom sharp in the top of the first inning. 1-2-3 half inning for him, and now here come the Rangers. 3 wins, 2 losses, still tied atop the West Division with the Angels right now for first place. Marcus Semien leading it off. Corey Seager at shortstop, bat second, and then it's Nathaniel Lowe Garcia, Young, Grossman in the middle. Garver will DH. Jonah Heim catches, and Ezekiel Duran in left field bats ninth.
And there he is, Grayson Rodriguez, the rookie, making his big league debut for the Baltimore Orioles. 6'5", 230 pounds, big right-hander. 5 minor league seasons under his belt. He's missed some time because of injuries, but when he has been out there, he has been incredibly dominant. He's got a big fastball.
And there you see it, 98 miles per hour, but he missed with ball 1. No doubt a lot of family and friends here for him. He goes again with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nacogdoches, just down the road. I'll say right between Houston and the Metroplex, but pretty close to the midway point. Breaking ball misses, 2-1.
And this was a big league debut that came a little bit earlier than expected. Grayson Rodriguez did not make the team out of camp, but the injury that we saw to Kyle Bradish opened up an opportunity for him in this series to make that big league debut.
And they were hoping he'd make the club. They gave him every opportunity. They really wanted him to break camp with the club, but he just did not put himself in that spot. He did not have a great spring, and then his minor league opener, we understand to be under rather challenging weather conditions last week, but did not go that well either. 3-2, and he misses high, and Semien draws the walk, and that was part of the problem, was command.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look at some of those spring training numbers that you mentioned. He got 5 starts, 15 1/3 innings, 17 hits, 15 runs. Had 7 walks over that time, so that rate's certainly a little bit too high. And then the strikeouts were good. That's the part that gets you excited. He did strike out 19 in the 15 1/3 innings that he had in spring training.
Now Corey Seager, and he'll take a fastball for a strike. Seager at 263 has 5 hits so far, 19 at bats. He's also walked 3 times.
And that's the pitch right there. We see that was, take that back. That was a changeup. He actually cut that one a little bit, but similar speed to the slider. As you can see, Grayson Rodriguez named the Jim Palmer minor league pitcher of the year. Got a chance to talk with Jim before the game. Of course, the Hall of Famer really likes Grayson Rodriguez. And one thing they're keeping an eye on is whether or not he can land that breaking ball in the strike zone. We saw the changeup right there that was out. A couple of sliders that we've seen out of the strike zone so far. There is no doubt that the fastball will play. Comes down to those secondary pitches, and got to get those in the strike zone if you want to be able to get deep into a game as a starter.
Runs that one in as well, 2-1.
I wonder if he's cutting that on purpose or if that's just nerves, because that looks like a slider. And you look up and speed's about the same, but it says changeup. I can't imagine he's trying to do that on purpose.
Semien off first base, not gone. The 2-1 pitch fouled away. That'll even things up. Fastball looks good. He's a big kid, 6'5", 230 pounds, only 23 years old. I mentioned the command, not just in spring training, but in that minor league opener in Durham. He walked 4 in 4 innings. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and this one grounded to first. What a nice diving stop down there. The throw to second is in time to get Marcus Semien. That's a nifty play by Ryan Mountcastle.
That is really nice, and wondered if he was just going to try to take the out at first, because this is not an easy throw. We talk about this all the time with right-handed first basemen and trying to create a lane, and there really wasn't an opportunity as Marcus Semien will start to take a couple of steps toward the inside. But a great play and a good enough throw to at least get the out at second base.
So Seager, the base runner now with 1 out, and Nathaniel Lowe fouls on the first thing he sees from Rodriguez. Lowe homered last night, his first of the year, has 4 RBIs. Coming off just a stellar 2022 season. And he takes one on the inside corner. That was the curveball that time. It did have a little more bend than that changeup.
Yeah, a little slower than the slider.
That one is high. 1-2.
He doesn't look nervous, for whatever it's worth.
No, he doesn't, but he's kind of all over the place right now. As many balls as strikes offered so far. The 1-2. And that's fouled away.
So we've seen this a couple of times. You know, of course, we're dealing with the pitch clock right now. But already in this inning, there have been so many foul balls, both in the top of the first and in the bottom of the first, that we've had to have an on-plate umpire go out and get baseballs and walk a little bit closer because he wants to keep the game moving.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of times the pitch clock has not started.
1-2 pitch, and that one runs inside. He's had 9 foul balls already in the game.
Wow. And John Payne got a little bit of extra pressure on him as well to when he's out of baseballs. Let's get him, and let's get him here quick.
The 2-2 from Rodriguez. Another one spoiled. We'll do it again. So he threw 75 pitches in that season debut in Durham. So that'll be the other question, is how far will they push him today? 2-2. And this one lined up the middle. Mateo is there and makes the catch. 2 away.
Time now for a little StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And these are kind of fun here as we take a look at Adolis Garcia and the side swing. How about the path to the ball and then where he squares it up on the barrel? It's pretty cool. And StatCast showing us exactly where the barrel is. You don't hit a ball 103 miles an hour unless you catch it on the barrel. And there's the finish from Garcia. The ball that he hammered 421 feet to left center field.
Shoots this one the other way for strike 1. Man on, Semien drew the walk to open the inning. It was the 7th time in this series the Rangers got the leadoff hitter on base. Only scored once, and I want to say it was when Garcia homered last night. In the dirt, Seager able to move up to second base on the wild pitch.
It's a good read and an easy one for Corey Seager. There's the breaking ball grip, and as we mentioned, he's having a hard time landing that pitch. That's been the scouting report, and that's been true so far here in the first inning, and Adley Rutschman could not keep that ball in front of him.
1-1. Good to go. Yeah. And Blakeney down at first. Didn't hesitate.
That's a good call. Garcia could not hold up. Number right there on the Bally bar. Of course, we saw the Rangers offense explode the first 2 games of the season. They've slowed down a little bit here lately, just 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, which is not a lot of opportunities over 3 games.
Well, they've made Rodriguez work. This will be his 23rd pitch of the inning. 2-2. And this one out into right field. That gets down. It'll get a run to the plate. Here comes Seager. He's in. Garcia just jogging to second with a 2-out RBI double. And so the Rangers get on the board first this afternoon.
It's a nice shot by Garcia. You have a big fastball from Rodriguez. It's right down the middle, but look at the swing and the head down and just driving this ball to the opposite field. Short to the ball. Looked like he might have choked up a little bit to make sure he could get to that fastball. And that's an easy double off the bat.
Well, huge to cash in that leadoff hitter who got on, and then also big because now it stretches that inning even further for Rodriguez. He was pushed into duty today due to some stress on the bullpen and the rotation following the opener of this series Monday night. 1-0, and Young 1-1 lost full grip of the bat. Well, Josh has a home run so far here in the first week of the season, a .278 average. And he'll take off the plate. And again, the breaking ball is just kind of elusive for Rodriguez.
And they're generally more horizontal. A breaking ball, that was a slider there. Even the curveball, it's not a big curveball. It's a little bit firmer. The one that we saw that registered at 80 miles an hour. He's got a cutter in there as well. But none of the breaking pitches, at least so far, have much vertical break.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Young. Well, Rodriguez wearing number 30 today, making his big league debut. He was wearing number 85 during spring training, so he got upgraded. Last Oriole to wear that was Chris Tillman. This ball lined out into left field, drops in, base hit. Garcia chugging around third. He'll score without a throw. Young cashes in another one, and the Rangers in front 2-0.
Well, after having a hard time in that one-handed swing on a fastball, Josh Young gets a changeup. Good look at the grip. And again, Grayson Rodriguez trying to turn that ball over, but it's not running in. That one just kind of stayed away, didn't cut as bad as some of the others, but it stayed in the middle of the plate for Josh Young.
So that requires a visit for the youngster. 23-year-old rookie making his big league debut. Things don't get a whole lot easier. He'll deal with a veteran hitter. Very selective. Difficult out. Here's Robbie Grossman, switch hitter, batting left-handed. That first fastball now running way in.
So this gets very interesting if Robbie Grossman can have a lengthy at-bat and keep the inning going, as the pitch count now will be at 30 after this pitch. We talk about it often. 35 is kind of that number. You start to get a little bit uncomfortable for total pitches.
Well, this ball hit hard, but snared by Frazier. Throws out Grossman, and the inning is done. But a profitable one for the Rangers as they played a couple.
That really good first inning, and the Rangers taking advantage of a young pitcher having a hard time landing breaking pitches. How about the fastball taken the other way from Adolis Garcia, and then a changeup pulled into left. Good at-bats all the way around with some opportunities to drive runs in. 2 across the board for the Rangers.
With a couple of runs in the bottom of the first, now headed to the top of the second, and they do get on the board thanks to Adolis Garcia and that RBI. I spoke with him about his kind of newfound approach to patience at the plate, and he said he's really worked on that. So when you saw a call like last night, I'm sure you guys remember that one that was a pretty high strike, I guess you could call it, I asked him if he, how he balances trying to keep that patience at the plate, but also too trying to be, aggressive. And he said, look, I have a reputation as being a free swinger, and it's going to take time for these umpires to realize I'm not swinging at everything and that I'm taking good pitches and I'm not swinging at bad pitches. And so he realized that this is part of the process. He wants to stick to it and feels like the results will come. And we saw it in that first at-bat here tonight.
Yeah, there was a phrase last year that Donnie Eckert used that I thought was kind of interesting when he mentioned the tax that you have to pay for being a patient hitter and for having a game plan. And what that means is some more called strikes once in a while. That's just kind of the way it's going to go.
DeGrom picks up his second strikeout of the ball game as he punches out Mountcastle.
They're chasing a slider far off the plate here. This is what we saw the first night from Ryan Mountcastle. Remember, he went 0 for 4 with 4 punch-outs. Had a good day yesterday with a home run and a double. But Jacob DeGrom bringing back Game 1, Ryan Mountcastle there.
Gunnar Henderson, and he'll take a fastball right on the corner, strike 1. DeGrom has retired the first 4 he's faced so far today, 2 of them on strikes. He's definitely working with some tempo.
It sure is. And real quick, to wrap up kind of Emily's point there for Adolis Garcia, that tax meaning more called strikes at times is going to happen. You kind of deal with it. So far, it has really worked out well. Adolis Garcia chasing just 18% of the time. Last year, 37%. That is a huge difference. Only a few games into it, but that is a monster change, and he's swinging significantly less.
A ball and 2 strikes on Henderson. Did not play yesterday, and he's widely regarded as the top prospect overall in baseball. Good hitter, and he swings and misses, strike 3. And DeGrom with 3 consecutive strikeouts.
And all on sliders. Another one here now. It's going to be down and into the lefty. You see that ball? It starts in the middle of the strike zone. Looks like a strike coming out of the hand of Jacob DeGrom. You're worried about 99 or 100 miles an hour, and then by the time you realize it's a slider, it's too late.
So he goes to work now on Vavra, and misses upstairs. Ball 1, Taron Vavra. First time we've seen him in this series. He's the designated hitter this afternoon, and he can't catch up to the heat. 1-1. Dad Joe Vavra, a longtime major league coach. A handful of different teams over the years. The Tigers and Twins. There's a swing and a miss. Strike two.
That slider is on today for Jacob deGrom. He's seen some ugly swings here first time around.
Well, deGrom trying to get that quick shutdown inning. The 1-2. And he misses low with the breaking ball. Well, this will get that rookie right back out there after a very lengthy first inning. The 2-2 pitch. Inside 99 with a fastball, just missed.
As soon as you saw Jonah Heim set up in, you knew the fastball was coming, and those are fun. Just missed getting that called third strike.
Well, now the payoff. And Vavra swings and misses, strike three. deGrom strikes out the side.
Pretty nice work here from Jacob deGrom. Just 14 pitches to register 3 strikeouts, and they all came on sliders first. Ryan Mountcastle chasing away, then Henderson having a hard time holding up, and then Vavra finishing things off. And what an inning for Jacob deGrom after the Rangers scored those 2 in the bottom of the first.
Just keep all those dollar hot dogs in here, folks. That guy, Jacob deGrom, looking really sharp here. 4 straight strikeouts now. Rangers with a 2-0 lead as we get ready to go here in the bottom of the second inning. So deGrom very sharp. Rangers really made the rookie Grayson Rodriguez work in his big league debut that first inning. And now we'll see, after a very short break, how he fares in the second. Misses on his first offering to Mitch Garver. Ooh. And did not get a call there on a pretty good pitch. 2-0. And it looks like they already have at least some anticipation that they may need somebody. Little tapper out in front of the plate. Rutschman bare hands and throws out Garver. 1 away. Gives us a chance to hear from Tax Act.
Tax Act gives you everything you need to file for less.
Tax Act.
So Garver retired, and now Jonah Heim, and he'll take strike 1. Shoots that one the other way. 0-2. Jonah 2 for 10 in the early going. One of those hits, a double, drove in a couple of runs, in fact, and he fouls that one off. Rangers got off to the blistering start against the Phillies, but then they've been held in check here by Baltimore, and part of it, I don't know. I mean, I suppose we could go through and parse the actual numbers on this, but it does seem like they were seeing a little more in the way of off-speed stuff the last couple of days. Rodriguez throwing more of the fastballs early on here. 0-2. And there's a breaking ball rolled down to first. Mountcastle, good feed to Rodriguez. 2 up, 2 down.
Probably not where he wanted it, but when you throw as hard as Grayson Rodriguez does, you get some of that speed differential. It's going to fool hitters. Jonah Heim was pretty late on the fastball. He's having a hard time catching up to that 97, playing well up in the zone. And I think that's the one thing, we watch him early on. We're just an inning and change into it. But we know, again, that the breaking pitches and the location of those pitches has been the one thing that everyone's kind of keeping an eye on. There's some room for improvement. But with him, with the big fastball, he's got to get it in the zone. I'm not saying you can hang him with any consistency, but you're so geared up for 97 that if you can just get that pitch close with some consistency, both the curveball and the slider, he'll be in good shape.
1-2 on Ezekiel Duran. He was 1 for 9 early on. chases strike three. So what a bounce back inning for Rodriguez. Only 11 pitches needed to carve up the bottom of the order for the Rangers. We will head to the third inning this afternoon in a 2-0 game. Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Well, 2 innings already recorded as we head to the third. We'll see how DeGrom looks here in the third. Bottom third of the order for the Orioles coming. Hayes, Frazier, Mateo. And DeGrom pop out a line out and then 4 straight strikeouts. This one on the ground, left side of the infield. That's going to be a tough play for Young. He barehands his throw in time, and he gets Austin Hayes. 1 gone in the third.
This is really impressive from Josh Young. It's been a storyline that's starting to get some attention, and that is his defense. It's been much improved already this year. You're going to watch him run in one hand and all in one smooth motion, field this baseball, and throw a strike over to Nathaniel Lowe. Well done, Josh Young.
So it always helps to get a little good defense. Adam Frazier, now Frazier batting 8th today, and he's off to a good start. One of the few additions Baltimore made, and he's gotten off to a real good start this year with the Orioles. He's also the one guy in the lineup who seems to have a pretty decent amount of comfort in there against DeGrom.
You're going to be excited about this. There's only one other Oriole who has an at-bat against Jacob DeGrom. And you're never going to guess who it is.
Never? Ben Boone.
No. Kyle Gibson.
You're right. I think that would have been tough.
You saw the numbers there, 3 for 8, but no other current Oriole has ever faced Jacob DeGrom.
2-2. And a swing and a miss. Frazier strikes out. 5 strikeouts for DeGrom.
And the first one that we get on a fastball, the other 4 had been on sliders, and this is just good heat away at 99 miles an hour and tied up Adam Frazier.
So with 2 away, Mateo will take ball 1. Mateo has kind of been the tough out in this series, or at least the tough at bat. A couple of impressive home runs. And he'll take on the corner for a strike, 1-1. Just 35 pitches in for the Rangers right-hander, and there's another 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but it's a little bit wide. Second start in a Rangers uniform for DeGrom. Oh, Mateo just did hold off. 3-1. That first one against the Phillies did not go as planned, although the exit velocities of the Phillies wouldn't have made you think that they were hitting him hard. They certainly weren't. There's a little roller to first. And a good job covering the bag as well. Another 1-2-3 for DeGrom.
That's some good defense in that inning for the Rangers. I was going to say Josh Young was flashing a leather, but no leather needed. All bare hand here for the Ranger third baseman on this nice play to kick things off in the third.
The first dollar hot dog day of the 2023 season taking place here at Globe Life Field, and Marcus Semien looking to add to the Rangers' 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the third.
Oh, another tough play at third base. In fact, this one thrown wide. And now heading to second base, and in there, just ahead of it, Semien, just like that in scoring position. Be a single and an error.
Gunnar Henderson trying to do his best Josh Young impression and not coming up on the positive side of that one. This was risky by Marcus Semien. If this throw is on the mark or in the air, he's probably out. But it was not, and he was safe. And so a good way to start things off here for the Rangers. A little check swing and a runner at second base.
So Seager now the chance to drive in a run, and couldn't resist. Strike one. All right, I'm sorry, Em, what were you saying?
That's okay. So I was talking about Marcus Semien looking to get the Rangers on the board again here in the third inning. And, you know, in talking about Corey and Marcus, we've talked about how much more comfortable they are. And it's quite evident both in the clubhouse and even to an extent on the field, especially when you look at the slow start that Marcus got off to last season. And he said, look, we have the pieces now to win. It is apparent. It's time for us to do our job. The expectations are high for this team, and they should be. They're expecting a lot within that clubhouse and feel that they have the pieces to contend.
I think what's nice about that, too, for both Marcus Semien and Corey Seager is that for the most part, not every year for Marcus, but before they were Rangers, they were on teams that expected to win. Corey Seager every single year when he was with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so they understand what it takes, what the message needs to be, the clubhouse feel, all of it. These are the guys you want at the top leading the Rangers right now as they look to get back into contention.
Well, there's a second big league strikeout for Rodriguez. We got Durand in last inning and now adds Seager to his list. So the rookie seems to have settled down a little bit since that first inning, and his first offering here, low, rolls it to second base. Frazier takes care of him, and that's the second out of the inning. Marcus able to advance to third. Brings up Adolis Garcia. Well, be interesting to see what happens with Rodriguez today. He was really wobbling a little bit there in the first inning. On the verge of real trouble of not being able to give them multiple innings today. But then has righted the ship here. Gets ahead of Garcia 0-1.
So he has the test of bouncing back from that first inning, which he did a nice job in the second inning. Now this second test, and that's facing the order for a second time. It was interesting to see him go right back to the fastball. It was the same pitch that Garcia hit for a double down the right field line. So not scared to go to it, which is certainly good to see. And some of the conversations from those around the Baltimore Orioles where this is where the concern lies. Second time through the order.
Yeah, that's where things kind of got sideways for him during spring training this year. 1-2 on Garcia. He'd have a good couple of innings, but then that second trip around the order, he was having trouble finishing guys off, and that gave them some pause. He has induced 8 whiffs so far. 1-2. Bounce that one up there.
The previous slider that he threw to Garcia looked a lot better. That one had more depth to it early on. As you may remember, we saw them a little bit flatter, a little more horizontal. Perhaps a little bit more relaxed right now and throwing that pitch the way it's meant to be thrown.
This ball hits sharply to third base. Henderson with a nice stop. His throw to first just in time to get Garcia. It was a hot corner for Henderson in the third inning. Nicely done, though. And we head to the fourth inning. The Rangers up 2-0.
Top of the fourth, 2-0 with the Rangers leading. Time now for our Bounty Quick Stats with Cedric Mullins getting ready to hit here for the Orioles. He's just the third player in Orioles history with multiple seasons of 50 extra base hits and 30 stolen bases. Brian Roberts and Brian Anderson, the others to do it. Some pretty impressive company for Cedric Mullins.
Already 8 RBIs this year. And he lifts this one foul. 0-2 the count. Yeah, he's just another many terrific players on this Baltimore team. And I don't want to call him a sleeping giant or whatever. I think this is an Orioles team, though, that despite not spending a lot of money, is a team that is really competitive. They have stockpiled good draft picks. Not just high draft picks, but they've done a good job with those picks. And they've developed some good talent. And there's a swing and a miss as Mullins goes down swinging. Strikeout number 6 this afternoon.
99 miles an hour from Jacob deGrom right at Cedric Mullins, challenging him to catch up to this, and he could not.
Well, when deGrom was announced as a Ranger, this is what I think we all were hoping and expecting to see. I don't know what you expect him to be perfect every night, but he has been awfully sharp here this afternoon with a good curveball there for a strike to Rutschman. Already a dozen swings and misses. That one's a strike. As Rutschman started and couldn't stop.
So he just saw Cedric Mullin strike out on 99 miles an hour. He gets a breaking ball and a changeup to start his at-bat. Looked like he took his time out there, try to gather himself.
2-strike pitch. And a swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball. 7 strikeouts for DeGrom.
You could see that one coming after the changeup, and I think Adley Rutschman probably knew it as well and trying to slow Jacob DeGrom down and reset because the high heat was coming and again could not catch up. That is by you.
Well, much like we've talked about, you know, Marcus Semien and Corey Seager settling in and taking a little time, Mike Maddox said, look, these pitchers are no different. These are new guys with new teams wanting to impress, wanting to do well. And maybe, you know, the first outing, you know, you just kind of press a little too much. And I think from the new guys in the rotation, they were just kind of glad to get that one out of the way and anxious to get back at it. Obviously, that seems to be the case with Jacob DeGrom.
So far, so good. Ahead 0-2 here, trying to strike out the side for the second time this afternoon.
So what do you think? 3 punch outs all at 99? Would that be fun?
Yeah, why not? 0-2 on the way. And a swing and a miss. How about 100? 8 strikeout for DeGrom.
Don't get me wrong, I like 100 as much as the next time. And how about some continuity here? 3 punch outs from Jacob DeGrom, all on the heat to the very top of the Baltimore Orioles lineup. Jacob DeGrom is feeling it today.
Spotlight here this afternoon. 8 strikeouts through 4 innings. And he's been perfect through 4. Rangers offense, a couple of runs in the first inning. Josh Young drove in one of those. He sends this one deep to right for the first out of the inning.
For Grayson Rodriguez, did a nice job settling down after that first inning. 30 pitches to get through it, and no doubt for Brandon Hyde, his manager, getting a little bit nervous when Robbie Grossman was up and that pitch count started to climb up. Since then, back-to-back innings of just 11 pitches each.
Robbie Grossman now, and he'll take one on the inside corner for a strike. 2-0 Rangers lead. Bombi, Adolis Garcia, RBI double in the first, and then Young followed with an RBI single. Since then, just 1 base runner.
Remember, we saw last year. Oh, who was it?
Martin.
Martin, and then also Cole Calhoun was using that glove.
Yep.
The idea is it keeps the entire body right at a certain temperature. Was the science behind it?
Down. Yep. Allows it, just helps endurance. One-two on the way, and this ball hit hard to right center. Grossman is aboard. The Rangers have another base runner. And we have a moment now to hear from Rally House.
Play ball, Texas. Shop the latest in Rangers style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Here's Mitch Garver. Accidentally tapped one in front of the plate his first time up. And it looked for a moment like it might be in the exact perfect spot, but he was retired on a good play by Rutschman. Grossman not much of a lead at first base, and that one finds the corner. And Grayson Rodriguez has definitely settled down since that first inning. Rutschman, he and Rutschman working together as they did prior to the season in the minor leagues. So that kind of worked out well for the Orioles. But Adley had worked with him in years past. And Brandon Hyde said Rutschman was going to catch today regardless, but that seemed like a nice little added benefit anyway for the rookie. 2-1. Oh, that's a beauty. Final game of this series, the Orioles took the first two. Their pitching got a little out of whack after about the second inning in Monday's game, but they have managed it well. The 2-2 pitch, this one fouled back.
Change up there, kind of interesting. It stayed straight. It still jammed Mitch Garver a little bit. He looks like he's feeling a little bit better with this changeup compared to what we saw early on as those nerves start to come down.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and a toss over there to first. The Rangers have stolen 1 base. They've also been caught once, but that's it. And in both those instances, it was Marcus Semien. Two tie.
Rushman throws well. He threw out 31% of base runners last year. League average is right around 25%. And for the Rangers, if you think about their first 2 series here against the Philadelphia Phillies and the Baltimore Orioles, they got 2 of the better throwing catchers in the game. It was JT Realmuto and now Adley Rutschman in this series with the Orioles.
3-2. And that's strike 3 called. Garver down looking. And 2 away.
Good fastball here, located down and away with good velocity. You can hear a few of the Grayson Rodriguez fans who are here today.
So 3 big league strikeouts. Now Jonah Heim. And Heim will take up and out. Jonah rolled out to first in the second inning. Take a fastball in. Well, both teams traveling after the ball game today. Rangers heading to Chicago. They'll enjoy a day off tomorrow there before starting a weekend series with the Cubs on Friday. Orioles heading home. And the Orioles, they're going to open against the Yankees at home, but they've got some weather concerns. Sounds like a rather high probability that they'd be rained out. And that already has them a little concerned. 2-1 pitch. Oh, that's ball 3. Started the year in Boston. And they will go home no worse than 500 on their season opening road trip. That's after last year overachieving a little bit with 83 wins, 79 losses. 3-1 pitch. Yeah, that's a full count.
They might welcome that off day. I mean, you never like having multiple off days in a row, but at the same time, what's going on with their pitching? The bullpen was beat up. Now it's since slowed down, but that first series in Boston, and of course we saw Wells come out of the rotation into the bullpen to help out in game 1. That would give them a little bit of a reset.
Well, another strikeout for Grayson Rodriguez as he gets Heim swinging, and the Rangers leave another man. 5th inning coming up. Rangers on top 2-0.
Is pretty good. How about the lowest ERAs since 1961 with a minimum of 200 starts? Good company for Jacob deGrom, Sandy Koufax, Clayton Kershaw, and there is our guy, 2.55 ERA over his career, and he is looking extremely strong today. No walks, 8 punch-outs, no runs for Jacob deGrom here in his second start with the Rangers.
12 up, 12 down so far, and he gets a swing and a miss out of Ryan Mountcastle to start things in this 5th inning. He's still shy of 50 pitches. Oh, no, he isn't. 1-1 on Mountcastle, who struck out in the second. And another slider that misses low. Ball 2. Now there are a number of exciting developments in the offseason for the Rangers, but I don't think anything really came close to the news about Jacob deGrom leaving New York. come to Arlington and wear a Rangers uniform. Got fans pretty excited. We saw him on opening day. And now this is going to get fans really excited the way he's throwing today. This ball hit hard out to center field. That one drops down, base hit. Bounces out to the fence. Mountcastle has a leadoff double. So Baltimore has their first runner of the ballgame.
Mountcastle got himself in a good count, 3-1, and was able to kind of get it started earlier. He'd been struggling against Jacob deGrom in that first at bat. But when you know there's a decent chance you're getting a fastball and you're facing Jacob deGrom, you got to sell out for it. He did. Got the barrel too.
So he's at second base for Gunnar Henderson. Henderson's just 21 years old. And he'll take strike one. A nasty slider there. Did not play yesterday. He took a line shot off the hand while playing third base on Monday night. And so they gave him yesterday off. And he hits this ball sharply on the ground, second base. Semien right there on top of it. One away. Mountcastle, though, advances to third base. And let's take a quick little moment here for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
Fun, games, relaxation, or excitement. We've got all your bases covered at Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
All right, here's Vavra. Struck out his first time in. He'll take the high fastball for ball one.
Be an ideal time for Jacob deGrom to pick up another strikeout here. You have Josh Young playing even with the bag over at third, but the right side of the Rangers infield, including Corey Seager, all playing back, so a ground ball would score a run here.
2 balls, no strikes. Longer hold for Jacob. Slows down a little bit with that man at third base. And now goes 3-0. It's always with deGrom. It's often a focus, the great velocity, the dominance, the strikeouts. This is his fourth 3-ball count of the game. And he misses with ball 4. I was going to say the other part of it for deGrom is he typically doesn't walk many at all. And he does give up one right here.
You see him shaking his head here a little bit, frustrated with that walk. Now it does leave a double play potentially in play to get out of this inning.
And Hayes, last time up, did hit a ground ball to third, but that was it was a weakly hit ground ball on which Josh Young made a fantastic defensive play.
And much like we talked about yesterday, not really the name of the game for Jacob deGrom. Does not get a lot of ground balls. 40% ground ball rate a year ago in his 11 starts. Who were we talking about yesterday? 1 ground ball double play last year for deGrom. Oh, and it was also for, it wasn't Kyle Gibson. He's a ground ball pitcher.
Was it Heaney? I think
Must have been Heaney, yeah. Heaney 1 ground ball double play last year. Jacob deGrom.
That's crazy.
1 ground ball double play last year.
One strike pitch to Hayes, and that's a little off the plate. So a leadoff double, a ground out and a walk, and Baltimore has the tying runs on base. They're on the corners. Hayes, the 7th place hitter. DeGrom's 1-1. And a bouncer right side of the infield. That will not result in 2. It won't result in any. Semien came up to throw before he had it secured. So an error allows Mountcastle to score from third base. And Hayes has reached. He will get an RBI.
Marcus looked like he tried to rush this a little bit with the idea of getting the lead runner. It was going to be a tough play, very unlikely to turn it anyway, but you see that head start to look up just a little bit before he had secured the baseball and tried to recover over at first, but it was too late.
So Baltimore on the board now. And here is Adam Frazier. And that is high and outside. I don't think DeGrom could have been a whole lot sharper than he was in the first 4 innings. The Mountcastle's double has changed things just a little bit here. Working from the stretch. It hasn't been quite as sharp, and this ball hit over third base into left field. That's a base hit. Vavra around third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by Young, and the game is tied on the Frazier RBI single. 2-2.
Mentioned Adam Frazier has had some good success against Jacob deGrom. That's a pretty good pitch right there. That's a fastball on the corner, maybe even a little bit off. He's short to the ball, just trying to hit it the other way. He does, with a runner in scoring position. If you go back to spring training and what we've seen from Jacob deGrom, this is the first time he's thrown in the 5th inning in any situation, right? That last spring training start was 4 innings, went 3 and change in his opening day start. And we do track, pitch count is one thing, but those ups and those downs is also another. You hear a lot about how many ups for a pitcher, right? How many times has he sat down, had to get back up? And perhaps Jacob deGrom may be feeling that just a little bit here.
Mike Maddox pays him a visit. 2 runs have scored. 2 men are out there, and the dangerous Jorge Mateo, who's homered twice in this series, at the plate. First pitch to him, and he'll shoot it foul over to the right side. How about our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game? Mateo with the home runs in back-to-back games. In fact, RBI's now on 4 straight. Josh Young, 5-game hitting streak going for the Rangers. Couple of hot bats. And Young looks back at second base on Hayes, so that's 1 disengagement. Strike pitch. A big swing and a miss. That one at 98. DeGrom's first challenge of the game coming in this 5th inning. 0-2. And Mateo lives to see another pitch. This will be at the very least a 20-pitch inning for DeGrom. Here it comes, and there's a swing and a miss. He strikes out Mateo. 9th strikeout of the afternoon, and a big second out of the inning.
Nice combination from Jacob deGrom. There was a fastball that was located middle in that was swung on and missed, come back with a slider away. It's kind of pitching 101, but doing it with some pretty spectacular stuff.
All 9 strikeouts swinging today. Here's Mullins. He has punched out once. 0 for 2. And he'll take a beauty. Popped out in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Hayes at second, Frazier at first for Baltimore. And it's 0-2.
That is a perfect slider. You saw that kind of confirmation from Jonah Heim after he threw it. Let's see if he goes back to it one more time. We have seen DeGrom also like to elevate the fastball in these counts.
2-strike pitch. And he does go with the high fastball. Too high.
I do miss the days of seeing the fingers going down from the catcher and getting to play along a little bit. We saw Jacob deGrom shake. We're just not exactly sure how it went down. Now we just get that. Let's guess slider.
All right, the 1-2. Fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 9 strikeouts so far. He's allowed a couple of runs in the inning. He deals with 2 more base runners at the moment. And can't say for sure. Hard to know what Bruce Bochy has in mind if there'd be another inning should he get out of this one. 2-2. And this one on the ground. Semien right there. Throws out Mullins and the inning is done. But Baltimore makes it a new game. 2 runs in the 5th. Halfway there this afternoon, tie game. Ezekiel Duran will lead things off. Semien and Seager to follow when we come back.
The Rangers looking to go back on top here in the bottom of the 5th after the Orioles tie things up in the top of the 5th. Ezekiel Duran getting a chance to play because of the absence of Josh Smith. I talked to him about, wanting to make the most of this opportunity, and he said, look, Emily, I'm just not thinking. I'm just playing. I had a good spring, earned my way on this team, and that's all he's worried about. I just want to do the best I can when I'm in the lineup, and when I'm not, I want to be ready to play, but I'm trying not to think. And so I told him I would stop asking him questions so he would not have to think of answers.
Seems fair. CJ's made a career out of not thinking. 0-2 on Duran.
Look at us now.
Uses his timeout. Didn't like that pace at which Rodriguez was coming.
Those are the numbers you just heard from Emily and how strong spring training went for Ezekiel Duran. 357 with 3 homers. He drove in 15 runs in spring training. That's a big number.
Two and 2. He turned heads in Arizona. A pitch from Rodriguez. This one popped foul. And it is one of those things where we say it all the time, but sometimes we conveniently disregard our own advice about evaluating guys during spring training. This one, a check swing bloop out to second, and Frazier is right there, 1 away. You do have to be careful sometimes when guys are either lighting it up in Arizona or maybe their numbers aren't very good in Arizona. You kind of take it with a grain of salt sometimes. 1 out and back to the top of the order here for Semien.
Certainly for Bruce Bochy, he's been around. He has seen it before. He knows what to look for. It's not just the results in the bottom line of those stats.
No, and in the case of Duran, I think one of the things that Boch referred to often was the energy that he brought. There's a ground ball third base. Long throw for Henderson, but it's right on the money. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning. There's a real positive energy and competitive edge that Boch saw in Duran and really liked. Well, the results were there too, but that personality is a big part of it. Seager takes off the plate for a ball. Well, you got to be kind of impressed with the way Rodriguez has put it back together after that first inning. Did Seager go? Yes, he did. Another Whittlestack. Calls that one a strike. A swinging strike down there at third. The 1-1. Well, that looked pretty good. But it's ball 2.
And he's done a really nice job. He's kept that pitch count intact after what was almost a disastrous first inning. Mentioned back-to-back 11 pitch innings and then 18 pitches in the last one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now up over 80 pitches. Not clear that he'd go a whole lot deeper. And he strikes out Corey Seager to complete a 1-2-3 inning. He may well be done in his big league debut. That's an impressive bounce back for the young man. We're tied at 2.
Coverage came, and take a look at some of this defense from Texas Rangers. We saw Josh Young with a barehanded play, and that great throw over to Nathaniel. The glove looking good so far this season for the young Ranger third baseman. Josh Young doing a nice job. That was a question mark, I think, to some degree coming into this season, but he has answered it in a really positive way.
Well, DeGrom goes back to work in this 6th inning. And we get the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Baltimore. Rutschman, Santander, and Mountcastle. And Rutschman fouls off strike 1. He's 0 for 2, a line out and a strikeout. It's 1-1. Rutschman, a switch hitter. That's the left side against the right-hand throwing DeGrom. And he'll take low.
No action in the Ranger bullpen just yet. It'll be interesting to see here with Jacob DeGrom if he runs into any issues at all with the command. That's what you don't look at the velocity. If velocity comes down for me, it's probably too late. But I think the command is the most important thing to keep an eye on. Now pitching into the 6th inning for the first time since he signed with the Rangers.
And falls behind Rutschman. 3-1. And here comes a pitch. There's a swing and a miss. And that fastball velocity still right there at 98 miles per hour. Full count. He's sitting on 9 strikeouts. And the payoff pitch. That's outside. Rutschman takes the walk. Second walk issued by DeGrom today. Yep, and there goes the phone down to the bullpen. Maddox getting some bodies up in Stern. Santander 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. 80th pitch of the day, and it's a slider. Curveball for strike 1. He allowed the 2 runs last inning, and he looked different with runners on base. And he's back in that similar spot here. Runs that one inside. 1-1. See just a little bit with the body language. He was trying to sort something out, maybe a little frustrated. Set up outside, the 1-1 pitch. Man, that's a beauty. 100 right at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. And we got that in the 6th inning.
With that location on top of it, right? Things that you look for, and listen, the pitch count's starting to get up there, but the things you look for with fatigue, that answers the question.
1-2. And a foul ball. Santander, he's a pest, man. It's just a lot of pitches by virtue of all these foul balls. Once he gets 2 strikes in a count, he's pretty good at spoiling things close just to keep the at-bat going. Rutschman, the man at first base. Longer pause. Here it comes. And it's high. And DeGrom, as CJ has mentioned, you know, it's the number of innings. That's a part of it. 73 pitches in that opening start, so he's stretching it out a little bit that way as well. Another foul ball, and we'll do it again. So off of 73 pitches last time, you'd say, you know, 90 pitches is probably about where you typically advance a guy's next time out. But that may depend on a number of factors. 7th pitch of the at-bat. It's on the way. And another foul ball.
Not the ideal time to run into a guy like Anthony Santander, and based on what he's doing here with Jacob DeGrom, making him work to get that pitch count up even closer to 90.
Oh, his fans have really enjoyed what they've seen from DeGrom. They're trying to will him to another strikeout. Here's his 2-2. Full count. He put that right about where he wanted. We'll step off here. Time winding down on him. Well, he's managed to battle with Santander and get him both times on strikes. Long hold. Now the 3-2 runner going. There's a swing and a miss. Got him to throw to second. In time. Double play. 10th strikeout for DeGrom. And then a beauty fired down by Heim.
Nice work all the way around. Jonah Heim with an absolute bullet down to second. You're going to see the strikeout here, and a little bit easier to throw when you're getting upper 90s velocity at the top of the strike zone and throwing down to bases. And right on the money, and not even close.
So with 2 gone, there's a first pitch fastball, and Mountcastle comes up empty.
So how about this for a Ranger pitcher to strike out 10 in less than 6 innings? The last guy to do it was Dane Dunning back in 2021. Over the last 5+ seasons, it's only happened now 5 times.
Wow.
It's been a while since we've seen a Ranger register this many strikeouts in under 6 innings. There's Dane Dunning now in the bullpen with the Rangers. Lance Lynn did it twice in 2019. Cole Hamels in 2018. Which is funny because we don't look at Dane Dunning as a strikeout pitcher. So you can get strikeouts, but that's not really his game. He struck out 10 in an even 5 innings worth of work that day against the Mariners.
Well, DeGrom's 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. He gets 11 strikeouts through 6 innings and finishes strong here in the 6th.
Really nice job from Jacob DeGrom after leadoff walk to settle down and put up a 0 for the Rangers to strike him out, throw him out, and then this strikeout here of Ryan Mountcastle to finish things off.
We're talking about Dane Dunning in that last inning. I spoke with him today about his outing yesterday out of the bullpen. Very pleased with his performance. He was a bit frustrated with that 14-pitch walk to Santander, and he said, "You don't have time to catch your breath." I was exhausted because I asked him if he was gassed at the end of his outing. He said, "Yeah, especially after that 14-pitch at bat." And he said, "Then I give up the walk. I'm like, dang it, at least if I was going to have a 14-pitch at bat, get the guy out." But he said that pitch clock definitely came into play in that one. He couldn't catch his breath.
Yeah, and I feel like we've seen that a little bit from some pitchers so far here early on, where the bigger innings and the pace of play kind of catches up. You can't really step back and catch your breath. And so what happens here going forward, I think, for the trainers in the weight room and everybody that is involved in getting these players ready, if there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment that is made for this quicker pace in the way that you train. You know, they say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I don't know. It's a lot of sprints now.
Austin Voth, a new pitcher in the game for Baltimore, right-hander. Breaking ball fouled away by Lowe. Lowe, Garcia, Young in the 6th inning, a tie game. Grayson Rodriguez really pretty impressive outing today in his major league debut through 5 innings. And both off the plate there, 2-2.
It's a good matchup here for Nathaniel Lowe. Both really struggled against lefties. They had 283 against him a year ago. 5 of the 14 home runs came off the bat of left-handers.
Stays 2-2. Last year, both started the season with the Washington Nationals. He was designated for assignment at the end of May and just went across town.
Get a travel bonus, right?
Yeah. Just took an Uber. Well, chopper over the mound. That could be trouble. And Mateo charging makes the play to get Low. Bruce close.
Bruce Bochy's got the hand up. 15 seconds to decide. Nathaniel Lowe's going back to first as if he believes that he is safe. And they are going to challenge this. Let's take a look. Not known for his speed, but this is a slowly developing play. It's going to give you your best look right here. That is close. Woo! That is as close gets, and we talk about it so often. It makes it difficult to turn it over. Ooh, look at that. He is going to be out. That's an incredible look, by the way. Give these umpires credit. We get on them a hard time for everything they get wrong and very rarely give them credit for what they get right. That is a good call. So the fans just saw what you just saw on television. And that view was a little bit tougher. The one that we had basically from the third base side was the one that was a little bit more clear that nobody wants to see. And that's that one.
Yeah, they're watching it right now here in the ballpark.
Well, you're right. Number one, you're right about these umpires. They are incredibly good at what they do. And I know they're not perfect, and people can pick out the moments here and there that they do mess up. But man, they are remarkably good at what they do, and now they're under so much pressure and scrutiny on a daily basis. It's not a, I mean, it's a much different job than when a lot of these guys started. Here's the announcement.
After review, the call stands. The runner is out. Texas will lose their challenge.
Alvin Hudson, our crew chief.
So what's changing that? I will think you will see the success rate go down on challenges because they are very strict now about those 15 seconds to decide. There's no more shenanigans. We saw some of that last year where a manager might try to buy some more time, or they didn't hold them to the 20-second rule last year. It is a hard 15 that you have to make that decision. That means you don't get nearly as many looks in the replay room. And listen, based on what we saw at the beginning, I thought that was a good challenge.
Adolis Garcia now with one out and nobody on. It's like Will Smith getting loose in the Rangers bullpen. I would have to believe that the day would be done for Jacob deGrom today. There's Will. Obviously nothing official yet. 1-1 pitch. And Garcia swings right through it. That's strike two. Both the first man up today for Baltimore. He's kind of their long man. He is low here, 2-2. We'll see if the plan is to ask him to throw multiple innings today or not. They got 5 innings out of their rookie, Grayson Rodriguez, making his big league debut. Struck out 5, walked 1, allowed a couple of runs on 4 hits. This ball ripped into left field. That's a base hit. Adolis with his second hit of the game, and he is on here.
Good looking swing here from Garcia on the breaking ball. Another one that sits in the middle of the plate. He's all over it. It's been fun to watch him so far. He's always been good, but this is a little bit of a different look here with Garcia. The patience to go along with still the aggressiveness in the strike zone.
Well, we know Garcia has good speed too. With the Rangers maybe fire him up this inning. Josh Young at the plate, and he'll lift this one out to right field. Santander going back at the wall. Gone! Second home run of the year for Josh Young, and a big 2-run shot has the Rangers in front again, 4-2.
And not just his second home run, but to the opposite field and not waiting around in a tie game. Get a breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. First pitch curveball, and here goes Josh Young taking it the other way. Look how still those hands are throughout this swing. And this is impressive. I had some carry on it, just enough to get it out of here.
Base is empty now, and Robbie Grossman takes outside. Big home run for Young. Second and third, rather third and fourth RBIs of the year. And 3 of them today. And Grossman shoots that one foul, 1-1. Grossman 1 for 2. A base hit his last time up in the fourth. timeout. No, it's a strike. It was a timer violation on Robbie. He had not engaged Voth visually in time, so charged with a strike, 1-2 the count, and he fouls that one away as well. Yeah, now he's not going to move.
It's got to fluster a guy. It has to frustrate you, especially if you feel like you're there. It's close a lot of times. We'll see how this thing plays out a little bit further. Maybe baseball drops that by a second or two.
Strike 3 called. Grossman goes down looking. 2 away. It's a tough at bat.
It is. They were trying to elevate here with the fastball. Instead, it's dotted down and in. It's a good pitch, but it was not what Voth was trying to do.
So now Mitch Garver. And Mitch takes strike 1. Breaking ball from Austin Voth. Voth ended up pitching pretty well with Baltimore last year. Had a 3.04 ERA in 22 appearances last season with Baltimore. That was after really struggling in the National League with Washington, where his ERA was over 10.
Yeah, it's interesting how they used him because it was 19 games pitched for the Nationals, all in relief. With the Orioles, 22 games, but 17 of those were starts.
Yeah, and now this year they want to use him as their long guy.
He did have a home run issue last year, 14 of them allowed in 101 innings. And that continues here this afternoon.
1-2. That's low. Two runs in on the Josh Young homer. Rangers have retaken the lead. Here's a 2-2, and this one on the ground, third base. It's going to be a long throw again for Henderson. The throw is high, and Garver apparently sneaks in underneath the swinging tag, and will be on with, at the moment, an infield hit. It doesn't look like Baltimore wants to challenge it.
Take a look. The throw is high. The tag touched Garver. It looks like it did not. It's the second time that we've seen in this series with Gunnar Henderson where he's had an opportunity to make a long throw and he has not been able to deliver. That's an error for me. They gave him a hit.
Scored a hit initially. We'll see if that changes. Jonah Heim, the batter, 0 for 2.
Of course, 2 days ago, the first game of this series, the play that we're talking about was ruled a hit, and it ended up being the only hit of the game. It was in the second inning with Josh Young batting for the Rangers. So it was the only hit they had. But it is a different official score all 3 games of these series. So I don't even know if that ever comes into play and kind of what's gone on throughout the series. Let's see what Larry Bump has to say.
It's quickly 0-2 on Jonah. Heim is grounded out and struck out. Garver at first. And he draws a throw. Flattering.
And if you're Mitch Garver, more annoying, probably.
Two-strike pitch. And that is in the air, but going foul. We'll do it again. Well, Jonas got a good game today.
If you're wondering, by the way, Mitch Garver, 2 stolen bases in his career. In the 366 games that he's played.
Okay.
So let's keep throwing over and
listen,
make him have to clean out his belt buckle.
0-2. And a swing and a miss. That strikeout of Heim ends the inning, but the Rangers retake the lead.
And thanks to Josh Young doing it again, off to a nice start both with the glove and the bat, breaking ball right down the middle, and we watch Josh Young go to the opposite field to give a Rangers a 2-run lead. Our Baylor Scott and White Health game diagnosis and taking a look at the Ranger ace Jacob deGrom. What an afternoon he had here against the Baltimore Orioles. The swings and misses, 11 strikeouts for Jacob deGrom in this one. We saw that fastball in triple digits. We saw the slider nasty to both the righties and the lefties. And what a nice start it is to the career of Jacob deGrom here in a Ranger uniform. 11 strikeouts today with a couple of walks, 2 runs allowed over those 92 pitches in 6 innings. He is now up to 18 strikeouts and just 2 walks in 2 starts as a Ranger.
25 swings and misses today. These are pretty good numbers. Will Smith goes to work out of the bullpen.
See the numbers last season, 65 games with both the Braves and the Astros. An ERA just under 4 for Will Smith. I think we're getting a little bit of a look here. People had wondered, what's this bullpen going to look like at the end of a game when the Rangers are winning? No set roles necessarily, probably more matchups. We saw Will Smith pick up a save already this season, but here he is in the 7th inning.
A strike, by the way, on Gunnar Henderson. That one down in the dirt. 1-2. Henderson, Vavra, and Hayes this inning. And Smith strikes out Henderson. 1 away in the 7th inning.
Good looking slider here from Will Smith in the strike zone the entire way and catching the corner. Put some pressure on Henderson to go after it. That was well done.
Not be Vavra. Ramon Urias pinch hitting here for Vavra. So 1 out, and Urias, who we saw yesterday, went 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch. Or was that in Monday's game? No, that was yesterday. Anyway, batting here. And the lefties 1-0. That's high and away. So Bochy forcing Brandon Hyde's hand here. And Arias coming off the bench in the 7th inning. And he lifts this one out into left field. That's playable for Ezekiel Duran.
All right, so you mentioned the 25 swings and misses. Certainly a big number. Any idea the last Ranger to have at least 25 swings and misses in a game?
Ooh. Did it even happen last year?
No, the last time it happened was 2017, and that same pitcher also did it in 2013. I love stuffing you and Steve over there. I love looking over and just those dumb looks both giving me right now.
Just the vacant eyes. Huh?
That's easier for me. I'm looking at the answer. I looked it up. Now, I will say this. The same guy got better than 25 swings and misses in 8 innings and 8 2/3 innings.
Darvish?
That's correct. Be hard pressed to find a Ranger that did that in 6 innings.
No balls, 2 strikes on Austin Hayes. Smith looking pretty good here out of the bullpen. He's a right-handed hitter. Ground out today to third. He's also reached on an error. There's a 2-strike offering, and it's inside. And it did not go on the check swing. One-two pitch, and it's away again. Smith, a veteran reliever, invited to camp in hopes that maybe he could provide a little bit of experience out of that bullpen. 2-2. And did he get the swing and miss? He did. Hayes went around. They'll have to throw it down to first to complete it. But it's a 1-2-3 inning for Will Smith.
Now the strikeouts continue here for Ranger pitching. A couple for Will Smith, both of them on sliders, and really nice work out of this bullpen continues. It's been a great start for relievers here in 2023.
Back to action here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Ezekiel Duran takes a breaking ball low for ball 1. 4-2 Rangers lead. Austin Voth is back out again. Gave up a couple of runs last inning. And Duran serves this one out into right field. That's a base hit. First hit of the game for Zeke, and the Rangers have the lead man on now with the top of the order coming up. Looks like they need a new baseball. Meanwhile, Keegan Aiken is working out of the bullpen for Baltimore. He was up earlier today as well.
And that's another multi-inning arm in that Baltimore Orioles bullpen. Aiken was right up there with Brock Burke last year. Matt Moore, multi-inning outings. As far as the amount of times that they did that, those three were right near the top.
Check in over at first base. A little bigger lead maybe now for Duran. 1 strike pitch, and Semien bounces at third base, but foul. 0-2. Well, Rangers trying to salvage a win from the Orioles in this series, and in doing so, if they can pull it off, it will secure a winning homestand, a 4-2 homestand to begin the year. Currently tied for first place in the division with the Angels. 0-2. That one up and out. The schedule in April would look to be favorable on a lot of different levels. Next homestand, Kansas City Royals coming in. 1-2 pitch, and that's low.
Got the Cubs coming up.
Yeah, see how they do against the Cubs here on this very brief road trip. It's been the holiday weekend in Chicago. Two balls, 2 strikes to Semien. Here it comes. Taps it foul.
Unfortunately, we don't get the first game. That one will be on Apple TV. All day games in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's always fun going to Wrigley, and it's really cool with the new schedule. Instead of going there once every 6 years, now the Rangers will go to places like Wrigley Field every other year.
Duran leading the 2-2 pitch, and Semien swings right through strike 3. 1 away.
Slider here and a pretty good one. That strike the ball down below the zone.
That may be it for Voth. Brandon Hyde heading out there, and there's the signal. So, and we'll bring on the new pitcher. 1 out, a man on, 7th inning. Rangers up by 2. On Bally Sports is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better, and by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Well, the Rangers have given you just about everything you'd want in a game. Some great defense by Josh Young, the home run as well. He's driven in 3. And the spotlight today was on Jacob deGrom and his just dazzling 6 innings of work. And now in the bottom of the 7th inning with a man on, 1 out. Let's see a new pitcher, Keegan Aiken, for Baltimore.
Makes some sense here for Aiken. 3 games in so far this season, inning and 2/3. A little bit of a different role compared to what we saw a year ago, but very good against lefties. Just a 185 batting average against. I mean, he allowed 10 home runs last season. All of them were to right-handed hitters. But how about that? 3 games, an inning and 2/3 so far this year. Last year, 45 games, 81 in 2/3 innings.
Wow.
He was in there for multiple innings more often than not.
And you should be looking to swing the 2-1. This one in the air out to left field. Hayes has plenty of room. And there are 2 gone. He throws 70% of his pitches for strikes. 70%. He threw a little over 1,200 pitches last year, and nearly 900 of them were thrown for strikes. It's the second best strike percentage in baseball behind Kevin Gausman with the Blue Jays, who was, I mean, just a tick ahead of him.
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
When you think about the league average strike rate, about 63%. And how many pitches, you know, it's one thing, strike percentage is one thing. And then as far as what's going on inside the strike zone, right? How much chase is happening. But the fact that 56% of those pitches were inside the strike zone is a huge number. It may not sound like it, but less than half of the pitches thrown in baseball are not actual strikes. They turn into strikes because batters swing at them, but they're outside the strike zone.
There's 1-1 to low, and that one into left field, base hit. Around second base, Duran, he heads to third. The ball gets away out there. Duran will try to score from first. He does. A double for Lowe. Picks up his 5th RBI of the season, and the Rangers' lead is at 3.
And this is why you never make any assumptions when you're running the bases. It looks like it's going to be an automatic double off the bat, and it may be difficult to score as his fastball goes right down the middle in the strike zone. There's that short swing to the opposite field for Nathaniel Lowe. It looked like it might have got caught in that little cutout. Let's see what happened here. It did, and it took a big bounce backwards. Austin Hayes has to go in assuming that ball is probably going to rattle around the corner. You certainly don't want it to get past you. He played it that way, and instead it bounced backwards, which allowed the run to score.
Adolis Garcia hoping to keep it going, fouls that one away.
It's one of the quirks of the ballpark, and you don't see it too often, but that one certainly worked in the favor of the Rangers.
A right-hander going now. Baker loosening up for Baltimore. In the air, foul territory. Mountcastle hoping there's room. There is. And that ends the inning. But the Rangers add a run. 7 innings in the books. Nathaniel Lowe having a good game at the plate, and the Rangers on top by 3.
We go to the top of the 8th inning with the Rangers leading it by 3 now here against the Baltimore Orioles. Time now for our Sage pitching decisions. And we knew coming into the season that Bruce Bochy was very good at running a bullpen. And over the last 5 games, including the inning that Will Smith has already thrown here this afternoon, it's gone really well. No runs, and opponent's batting average of just .093. The Rangers came into this afternoon leading all of Major League Baseball in relievers ERA. So it's been a good start for the group down in the bullpen here.
It's encouraging. Smith out again here, another left-handed hitter in Adam Frazier, and he takes off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes.
We've got a couple switch hitters in this lineup as well, but as we sit here and try to navigate this, it'll be interesting to see how far Bruce Bochy goes with Will Smith.
There's a strike, 2 and 1. A little change in the outfield. Grossman moves from right into left field. Duran out of the game now. Garcia is in right field, and Jankowski has moved into center. This one scooped in the air, shallow center. Jankowski on his horse, able to get in and make the catch. 1 away. That's well done. Time now for our TXU power stats. Orioles 11 home runs in the first 5 games of the season, which is a team record for Baltimore. And the guy coming up, Mateo, he had a home run last night, but he's going to have to wait because that's it for Will Smith. With the right-hander Mateo coming up, Rangers will go to Jonathan Hernandez in the pen. leading 5-2.
Time, and today we find Mr. Robbie Grossman. Favorite athlete growing up, Vince Young. Thing he does to pass time on the team playing play cards, and superpower he wishes he had, run like Bubba Thompson. And let me tell you something, the run like Bubba Thompson answer came up multiple times.
Same.
And it is a superpower. It's unusual. So I don't blame him. Jorge Mateo batting now, though, against Jonathan Hernandez. 1 out, 8th inning, and Jonathan fires that one high. 2-0.
The third game of the year for Jonathan. You can see the 3 2/3 innings that he's thrown so far with 3 strikeouts. It's a good strikeout rate early on for Jonathan. Really kind of the name of the game we know with him is keeping the baseball on the ground, inducing weak contact. And last year, a 62% ground ball rate for Jonathan. But the walks were not where he wanted them to be. 13%, league average is around 8.
It was 3-1 on Mateo here. A 3-run lead. And that one misses badly in. Mateo draws the walk.
Some frustration on the face there of Jonathan Hernandez. Now, when this happens with him, we talk about it a lot, his ability to get those ground balls and get a double play. He's already gotten one this year. However, a little bit more difficult with Cedric Mullins. A really good runner coming out of that left-handed batter's box. And so to get a double play here, it's going to have to be hit right at one of the infielders with something on it.
Fastball, a little high. Jonah coming out from behind the plate, and it's about as much as the catcher can do right now. In fact, as he did, I thought, well, don't linger. There's a good fastball.
And you see Jonah actually slid a little bit further in. They wanted a strike there. Jonathan was missing arm side, and so was the catcher. And when you try to get your pitcher back on the plate, that means you sitting a little bit more middle, or maybe even leaning, in this case, at least on that last pitch, a little bit into the lefty to make sure that two-seam fastball stayed on the plate.
Slider misses. 2-1. Mateo has speed at first, but he's not going. He had a pretty good lead, too. 2-2. This is a team that ran wild in Boston. They stole 10 bases in that 3-game series against the Red Sox. There are 11 steals, currently most in baseball, but they haven't run much in this series.
And Jonathan did a nice job. No stolen bases against him last year, none so far in his first 2 games this year.
There is strike 3 called. Mullins down looking, and it was a strike, but a nearly impossible place for Mullins to handle it.
Well, this is what you get with Jonathan Hernandez's really good run on the two-seam fastball. So it'll start in off the plate, but it comes back and just catches that part of the strike zone up and into Cedric Mullins at 97.
Well, that's pretty tough. 2 out, and here is Adley Rutschman, and he'll take a fastball in that inside corner. Strike 1.
So that's the first strikeout looking of the 14 Baltimore Orioles that Ranger pitching struck out today. They had all been swinging up to that point.
It's down low. 11 strikeouts through 6 innings today for Jacob deGrom. And Will Smith struck out 2 of the 4 men he faced, and now a strikeout for Hernandez. 1-1. And this one on the ground, right side. Diving stop Simeon. The throw to first. In time with Jonathan Hernandez covering. Another dazzling play by Marcus Simeon.
These are so difficult for the pitcher, but what a great job by Marcus to cover ground to his left, full extension to make this throw to a pitcher who is running. And Jonathan Hernandez, right on the money, makes a nice catch. Little snow cone at the end of his glove. How about the Texas Rangers going back to last night and Marcus Semien showing off the leather. Great play by a former shortstop who's over at second base. And then this play here, backhand and another on-the-money throw from Semien. And then, of course, we saw him here this afternoon ranging so far to his left. What a great play. This is not an easy one by any means. First of all, for Marcus to get there, but I will tell you, you practice these all day long in spring training. The 4-1 second base, the pitcher, it's the worst. Because you're running so hard over there. You know the first baseman's not going to be able to bail you out. More often than not, you're running on your heels. That throw comes, it's going to come firm, because it has to happen, and it's bouncing. That ball is bouncing as you're running, and you're just hoping it's going to be on the money. And Marcus Semien has been on the money with his throws.
Good job of just keeping that one fair. I mean,
yeah.
That was not far from the line. He really covered some ground to get to it. Phenomenal play. We've seen some great defense today, along with the spectacular pitching of DeGrom. One strike pitch here.
It's so different compared to when the first baseman's covering, or first baseman's flipping it to you, right? More often than not, it's a nice little underhand throw. He's just kind of leading you. If the second baseman is fielding that ball, you just don't have a lot of time. So there's that little bit extra panic that sets in for the pitcher.
1-2 on Young. Well, Young's been a big part of the offense today, driving in 3 of the Rangers' 5 runs, including a 2-run homer his last time up in the 6th inning. And Baker yanks that one off the plate. 2-2. Brian Baker pitching that series in Boston through a couple of innings in his one outing, and that one is high. It's a full count. The payoff pitch, and Young lifts it left side, but that's not going to travel for him. Hayes covering some ground, and he'll make the catch out there in left field. 1 away. And here comes Robbie Grossman, who had a frustrating at bat his last time up in the 6th inning. He was charged to strike for a pitch timer violation. In the 9th inning, it does look like Jose Leclerc would come in for the Rangers. He's loosening in the bullpen. And Grossman swings through strike 1. Leclerc was named the closer by Bruce Bochy toward the end of spring training. And we just haven't had a lot of games where the Rangers have been leading by a small margin, where Leclerc would be the guy called upon. There was the one game against Philadelphia where Boch went with Will Smith, but that's because of the makeup of the bench at the time for the Phillies. That's low. 2-1. He just felt like, from a matchup standpoint, that gave his team a little better advantage. So he's not unwilling to go a different direction if the scenario might call for it. This one high in the air to center field. I mean high. It finally came down for Mullins, and there are 2 gone. But anyway, this at the moment looks like your kind of traditional closer spot coming up in the 9th inning, and he will go with Leclerc.
So the good news for the Rangers, I think, is that they have experienced arms down there. They have a handful of guys that have picked up saves before in the past, but none of them are here with the idea that they want to collect as many saves as they possibly can. Now, when you're a steady closer, it becomes your role. You kind of want to be that guy all the time. Will Smith, Ian Kennedy, Jose Leclerc, obvious that they're willing to do whatever the Rangers and Bruce Bochy want them to do. I think we'll probably see one of those 3-inning saves for a guy like Dane Dunning or Cole Reagans this year. Probably pops up. Those are always kind of fun. Sneak in, get yourself on the board with a save. Old school, get 9 outs to do it in a blowout game.
Well, Garver 1 for 3 today, an infield hit his last time up. Infield is back. And Baker's 0-2 upstairs. Third pitcher of the day for Baltimore. That's outside. They gave the ball today to Grayson Rodriguez, a Texan making his major league debut, one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. And Rodriguez had a really rough first inning, but bounced back and ended up going 5 strong today. It was pretty impressive.
It was just a couple of runs allowed for Grayson Rodriguez, but I think more importantly, like you said, bouncing back 30 pitches in the first inning, and then he went 11 in each of his next 2, 18 and then 13 to finish it out for a very respectable big league debut. No decision for him as the game was tied later.
Garver goes down looking to complete a 1-2-3 8th inning. So the 9th inning has arrived with the Rangers up by 3. Here comes Jose Leclerc. 5-2. Rangers on top here. 9th inning has arrived. Final game in this series with the Baltimore Orioles. And Jose Leclerc with a chance now to not just save if he can get it done here in the 9th.
These are the numbers last year for Jose over 39 games, sub-3 ERA. Did a very nice job. 5 home runs allowed in the 47 and 2/3 innings. Good strikeouts there at 54. So far this year, just 1 game pitched and 1 shutout inning. 4-seam fastball averages 96 miles an hour to go along with the slider, changeup, and the cutter that was new for 2022.
So he is set to go. Santander, the leadoff hitter this inning for Baltimore, and he is a stubborn at bat. He takes strike 1. Now he's 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. But that hardly ever tells the story with him. He just battles at bat after at bat. He's in a hole 0-2. Fans love to see a strikeout. There's this one in the air, back of third base. That's going to be playable for Young. 1 away.
Speaking of fans, did we get an attendance number today?
Yeah.
Dollar Hot Dog Night?
Yeah.
Or afternoon?
18,560, the largest crowd that we've had in this series against Baltimore. So that's kind of interesting. A Wednesday day game. Those hot dogs, bring them out. Jacob deGrom probably helped. Ryan Mountcastle swings through strike 1 from Leclerc. Breaking ball. Jose, a couple of shakes. It was curious, actually, that little sequence, the shakes and then the acceptance, because it happened so quickly. And you'd have to be like a keyboardist back there to be able to change the options that quickly. 1-1. And that's bounced third base. Takes Young back a step or so. Good strong arm across the diamond. Mountcastle retired, 2 away. One out away from a winning homestand, which would be a great way to head off on this short road trip to the north side of Chicago. Leclerc did throw that scoreless inning Thursday on opening day to finish off the Rangers' win. Not a safe spot. And he was a guy last year when he came back. He pitched remarkably well, and it just got better and better as we got closer and closer to the finish line last season. So he really finished strong last year. 1-0. And he finds a corner.
You always suspect when a guy comes back after surgery and missing some time that next year is going to be better. And for Jose Leclerc and Jonathan Hernandez, we all expect that to be the case.
That slider sneaking in the back door again. 1-2 the count to Henderson. That'll get the fans up on their feet. Well, it was a highly anticipated homestand and opening of the season for this Rangers team. Jacob deGrom in his second start this afternoon, absolutely dazzled. It's been a clean homestand in terms of defensive play. A strike away from making it a winning homestand. That's in the dirt. 2-2. I don't know where Chris Young is at the moment, but I'm sure he's feeling pretty pleased with the way this first week has gone. The 2-2. It's fouled off.
Well, no doubt. And I think a couple of things that we wondered about, we felt good about the starting pitching. We felt good about the lineup, right? But the things that have shown up, I think, so far in this series early on, or I should say the first homestand, is probably even more encouraging. The defense and the bullpen. They've been really, really good. I think better than expected, quite honestly, when we started the season.
2-2 to Henderson. A swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Leclerc saves it. Rangers take a 5-2 win from the Orioles, and it's a winning homestand.
Really well done all the way around for the Rangers, as we mentioned. All those little things, the bullpen, the defense, the offense showed up early on. Here's the changeup from Jose Leclerc, and a good one, perfectly located, as he likes to turn it over to left-handed hitters to finish off the Baltimore Orioles and get this homestand underway. 4-2, finish it up, head out to Chicago, and try to continue those winning ways. But this is exactly what you wanted to see from this team, the way that they kick things off here at home to start the season.
Holding this Orioles team to 2 hits today. The star was Jacob deGrom, 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. A lot of contributors, though, to a great homestand and a fantastic finish to it. A 5-2 win today. For CJ Nitkowski and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond. Thanks for being with us. Keep it right here. More coverage of the Rangers coming up on Rangers Live postgame next.